my trip to China this month, I was fortunate to be in Beijing on the day of the Qingming Festival, one of the most traditional Chinese holidays. It is a day to honor and pay respect to past generations, and it is part of the very rich history and culture of China that certainly fascinates and captures the imagination of people all around the world. Seeing this country again, firsthand, only reinforced my deep admiration and respect for the people of China. For centuries, they have helped shape world civilization, and in the last decades, they have really transformed the economy of their country, lifting more than 800 million people out of poverty in the last 45 years. We should never lose sight of the magnitude of this transformation into a modern-day economic powerhouse, key global player, and a leader in many of the cutting-edge technologies that certainly will shape the next decades of global civilization and progress. This international and economic status, as well as our own interests, make it all the more important for Europe to manage its relations with China. And for me, that also shows that decoupling is clearly not viable, desirable, or even practical for Europe. But as I said back in January, and as I set out in more detail a few weeks ago, there is clearly a need for Europe to work on de-risking some important and sensitive parts of our relationship. So de-risking, but not decoupling. This will be a core part of diversification and the strengthening of the resilience of our supply chains to reduce our own vulnerabilities. Honorable members, as the High Representative said, in 2019, the Commission and the EEAS collectively proposed a strategic update of our China policy. Since then, the world has changed enormously. China has changed, Europe has changed. And that's why our European strategy has to adapt too. A few weeks ago, when I gave my speech on China, I said, a strong European China policy relies on strong coordination between member states and EU institutions, and on the willingness to avoid a divide and conquer tactics that we know we may face. We have already in the recent days and weeks seen those tactics in action. And it is now time for Europe to move to action too. Now is the time to demonstrate our collective will. It is time to jointly define what success looks like and to show that unity that makes us so strong. And in this sense, I say, long live Europe. Thank you.